The National Hospital of Parapléjicos in Toledo is the national public reference center for the treatment and research of spinal cord injury in Spain. It was inaugurated in 1974 and has been managed by the Regional Government of Castilla-La Mancha since 2002. A spinal cord injury refers to any disruption or damage to the spinal cord resulting from either traumatic injury or disease. This condition leads to the interruption of nerve impulse transmission between the brain and the rest of the body and vice versa. Spinal cord injury profoundly impacts a person's life, affecting their mobility, sensory ability, and autonomic functions. This not only affects the individual, but also has a profound influence on their family and social surroundings. In order to accomplish the objectives of a comprehensive rehabilitation, our hospital adopts a strategic approach to spinal cord injury, employing a multidisciplinary team that addresses aspects including clinical, familial, social, educational, and psychological factors. Our aim is to facilitate the normalization of patients' life in every possible way. The spinal cord serves as a highway transmitting neuronal signals between the brain and the rest of the body. However, when a spinal cord injury occurs, the normal functioning of nerves above the injury level is affected, and the nerves below the injury are unable to transmit these messages from the brain to different parts of the body as they did prior to the injury. Therefore, the consequence of this condition includes a loss of voluntary movement and sensation below the level of the injury. Moreover, neurovegetative disorders, disruption in bladder and bowel function, sexual dysfunction, and cardiovascular system impairments may also arise. Spinal cord injuries are classified based on the level at which they occur, the extent of the damage, and the symptoms experienced by the patient. Paraplegia is used to describe the condition when the lower limbs are affected, while tetraplegia is used when both the lower and upper limbs are affected. Moreover, injuries can be classified as either complete, meaning the spinal cord is fully affected, or incomplete, indicating that some degree of connection is still maintained. According to the WHO, on average, there are 25 to 30 new cases of spinal cord injuries per million inhabitants each year. Spinal cord injuries can have traumatic origins or result from disease affecting the spinal cord. However, the causes of these injuries, such as traffic accidents, workplace incidents, sports-related incidents or falls, vary based on multiple factors and socioeconomic circumstances. Admissions to the National Hospital of Parapléjicos in the acute phase originate from other hospitals in Spain, following requests from their respective centers and subsequent evaluation of their medical records by our patient selection committee. During their hospitalization, patients go through an acute or bed rest phase and start with a personalized rehabilitation program, including the intervention of physio and occupational therapy. At this point, proactive measures are taken to prevent complications that may arise from the injury. These measures include implementing postural treatments to prevent the formation of pressure ulcers and addressing issues like stiffness and contractures. Specialized nursing care is provided, tailored to meet the specific needs of each individual patient. Special attention is required for the neurogenic bladder and bowel, deep vein thrombosis prophylaxis, and psychological intervention. Upon medical prescription, treatment will begin in an inclined position within the physiotherapy room, followed by progression to the sitting phase. During this stage, occupational therapy will tailor the patient's wheelchair and provide personalized supports as needed, facilitating their mobility throughout the hospital and enabling access to different units and services. Daily rehabilitation treatment consists on physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and psychology sessions. This is complemented by sporting activities, which are also very beneficial for their recreational, motivational, and integration aspects. At a certain point, the patient will begin venturing out into the city, visiting various locations and returning to their home. The goal is for them to gradually reconnect with their environment, but they are learning to practice and identify their specific accessibility needs. At our hospital, we provide support to patients in studying and selecting the appropriate adaptations and assistive devices to enhance their independence. In fact, if their functional capabilities permit, adult patients can even obtain or update their driver's license. One distinct feature of our center is the inclusion of complementary rehabilitation, which addresses non-medical aspects essential to the holistic recovery of our patients. This includes engaging in sport activities, which are not only therapeutic but also promote integration. Moreover, we organize social-cultural events and leisure initiatives for patients with the involvement of their family members to ensure their overall well-being and enjoyment. We believe that the whole of the family is fundamental for the recovery of our patients. Therefore, we provide courses in which family members and caregivers learn respiratory care, sphincter management, proper positioning to prevent pressure ulcers, exercise and mobilization techniques for the patient. Family members or caregivers also learn how to handle and maintain assistive devices, transfers, activities of daily living, and how to manage potential situations that may arise. Once the medical rehabilitation aims have been achieved, according to their possibilities and neurological level, the patient is ready to be discharged. Our hospital also has a sophisticated research unit increasingly active in basic and clinical research that aims to answer different questions. How can we preserve nervous tissues following an injury or pathology? How can we promote the growth and remyelination of damaged nerve fibers? Can we restore neural circuits? How can we prevent complications during acute and chronic injuries? What measures need to be taken to maintain a patient's maximum recovery potential? How can we facilitate the functional recovery of patients and improve their family and work life? To answer these questions, we study how the brain can adapt and heal itself, how inflammation affects the nervous system, and how to repair damaged nerve fibers. We also investigate the physiology of our senses and movements and how the brain develops. We explore ways to protect the brain, like using special materials, and we use state-of-the-art technology like robotics and virtual reality to help people recover. We also research new treatments for neurodegenerative diseases like multiple sclerosis. In a nutshell, we are trying to figure out how to make the brain better and help people get their lives back on track. Several scientific teams at the hospital lead or participate in projects funded by the European Commission, such as the BioMOT project for research in neurorobotics, the NeuroImp project for the development of neuroprostheses, the Neurofiber project to implement biocompatible electroconductive microfibers. We also have European projects focused on new therapies for spinal cord injuries such as Biaxon that aims to develop an active bypass for neural reconnection, and Piezo for spine that studies the response of cells and tissues to mechanical stimuli. We also have the AREA project that redefines the nature of human-robot physical interaction and lays the foundation for a new field of research. The STEAM Code project on non-invasive brain stimulation and the development of codes of conduct and safety protocols, or the Protocols Project, to generate innovative skills for professionals to manage tele-rehabilitation of patients. But we like to go further, and for this we have the Foundation for Research and Integration of the National Hospital of Paraplegics, from where we manage the Castilla-La Mancha Health Research Institute. Our foundation also enables us to carry out communication projects, training, adapted sports, inclusive leisure and tourism, but also accessibility, dissemination, and prevention campaigns that add value to the center. The incorporation of new communication technologies opens up new opportunities for the hospital, which offer patients and professionals the use of accessibility software and hardware for people with mobility difficulties. Finally, our center also sends out messages that urge people to prevent spinal cord injuries from happening, whether they are caused by accidents, disease, or other factors. They share information and raise awareness about the importance of understanding and addressing this issue at an individual and societal level. It emphasizes that the rehabilitation and reintegration of patients into everyday life require the support, empathy, and solidarity of everyone involved.